Hello everyone, Shroomraver here with episode 3 of our Minecraft Superflat playthrough. Our house is still very unfurnished, but there's no time for that today, because we have infrastructure to build. Last time we got off the mark with a workshop of sorts, but today we have two major plans: improve the cobblestone generator and start farming. Currently our horse is occupying the space our new generator will ideally be going, and while the village is quite nice, the farming is primitive at best. We need to expand the fields and build our farmers somewhere to live. Thankfully, we already have two of them, and I'm sure they won't suddenly disappear for no reason. That little building there at the Fletcher's house, we'll be improving that at a later date too. Now first things first, we need to move our horse. I want the cobblestone generator to be an extension of the workshop, so for now, we're going to get our horse out of this fencing area and pop him over to the other end of the village with the rest of the animals. Eventually, we'll be building them their own home. I've got plans for quite a nice barn to house all of our animals, but for now, this will be fine for our horse. We're just going to pop him in here, get out our lead, and secure him with the cows and pigs so we can start building. This fence is of course going to need to go, as will our original generator. It served us well so far, so I think the upgrade is hugely deserved. But we're going to be getting rid of this fencing and saving it. Fences like this can be useful for windows, since we don't have any glass at the moment, so we'll be recycling this for sure. Now we'll absolutely be saving the lava. This is the only one we've got, and we need to keep it safe to power the upgraded generator. The water source that you saw over there in the fencing where our horse was, that can be removed too, since we've already got one of these in with the animals, and we'll be needing that later too for farming. Now without those, we'll be off on another quest to neighbouring villages, and as you know, that could take years. But currently we're just looking at all of the stuff we've got from our original generator. It has gifted us much cobblestone, and this is going to be the basis for our new build, as well as most of the others we'll hopefully eventually have here. But right now, just laying out the foundation for the new generator here in cobblestone. We'll be neatening it up as we go along. Obviously we'll be replacing parts with stone brick as we have for a lot of our builds. We just like to map out the foundation, see what kind of size we're working with. So the basis of this machine is that lava and water will flow in from opposite sides of a central channel, forming cobblestone here above the hopper. Now when mined, this will drop into the chest at the front, and we'll have a line of hoppers feeding into it that should pretty much triple our output once we get the proper tools. So here I'm just building out the skeleton of the generator, giving it a nice flat foundation. Later I'll change the outer wall materials, and I'll be narrowing it down to save on space. For such a small output of just like one chest, this is going to be quite a bulky build, so where I can save space on it, I'll certainly try. Now we did end up taking a quick visit to some nearby villages to grab some iron from entirely willing test subjects. We need this for more hoppers, and we don't have an iron farm right now. But going back to the build, the lava goes into this channel and flows forwards, and the water fills in the other side. It's vital to have both flowing, otherwise you'll just get one block of obsidian and lose the lava itself. This way you get constantly generating cobblestone, which is one of the most important things in a game mode with limited materials like, say, Skyblock or indeed Superflat. And as you can see, the cobblestone generator is almost fully functioning. Sadly, the lava flow only affects 3 blocks, so we'll have to move the lava source forward by 1 for now. We may be able to get another lava bucket somewhere, but for now we'll just settle with this. However, functionally at least, this generator is now up and running. We are going to have cobblestone for days. I did drop an obsidian block in at the back just to stop us mining too far and breaking the back wall. I went through several design ideas before settling on an indented block wall using the white terracotta we picked up last time when we took down some of the buildings in the village. I think it adds a nice contrast to the mostly grey surroundings and looks better than the walls we were using previously. Gives the machine a much smoother look, and I quite like it for my first time using terracotta. Took a quick build break to do some farm trading while the final material we need smelts. We'll be back with the farmers a little bit later. But this feels kind of voyeuristic. I'm not sure I like it, munching on an apple while these two kind of get it on. Ugh. But it's a success. We have a tiny new addition to the village. Hooray, fantastic. Welcome to the world, little guy. You'll be entirely raised in captivity, for your own safety. And here's the finished cobblestone generator. I added some smooth stone slabs on top just to give a little variety to what was essentially a big stone box. That plus the terracotta I think is quite a nice building effect, and it's going to really help out our productivity. And with the stone taken care of, it's time for part 2 of our infrastructural upgrades, farming. As ever, it starts with deconstruction. This house is going to be very much in the way of where I want the farmlands to go, so it's going to need to be removed. We did take the carpets, always good for decoration down the line, and then it's on with the building work, or rebuilding work. Demolition work? Yeah, that last one. Sadly, we aren't even close to having access to Silk Touch, so these windows can't be salvaged, but the rest of it certainly can. And with that, we have so much more room for activities. What I want is several large fields with various crops, chief among which will be wheat, potatoes, and carrots. These represent the common early trades for farming villagers, so it'll be a great source of emerald income and experience. We do want to get farmers trained up as soon as possible so we can get them to expert level, where we'll be able to buy golden carrots, arguably the best source of food that Minecraft has to offer. We're also taking down this terracotta house, both to make space and to restock our supplies of the material for future building projects. And having seen it as part of a finished build, I'm properly on board with using it more often. Again, sadly, the windows are a lost cause, but everything else here is going to be very useful to us. I don't intend on using terracotta anywhere in the upcoming builds, but I could see it being like a major part of a home for like a cleric, cartographer, librarian maybe, in the future. Getting rid of the old farm here to make way for some more spacious fields. We're going with the classic 9x9 square with the water source in the centre. So water can hydrate dirt up to 4 blocks away, so this is the most efficient use of our land. We've also, you'll notice, dropped a slab in over the water so that the farmers don't fall in. And trust me, they would fall in. They are constantly finding ways to ruin the farmland. It also serves for a nice place to put the composters, which are the farmer job blocks, and immediately I see a problem. The farmers don't need to jump up on top of the composters, but they do, constantly. And when they jump down, they ruin the farmland. Looks like we'll need to rethink the job block positioning. For now, we have a couple of fields with space laid out for one more. That'll give us 1 field for wheat, 1 for potatoes, and 1 for carrots, which hopefully should be enough to be getting on with. I'll put a house for our farmers in the 4th corner, and we can go from there. The farmer's house is the only bit I'm really worried about. Like, making fields, that's easy, but as you know, I'm no builder. And I haven't really practiced anything like this, so I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. Turns out this farmer doesn't have a potato trade, and somehow the second farmer appears to have disappeared. This is exactly what I was hoping to avoid. Thankfully, we have the ability to make plenty more villagers, so in the meantime, we'll just maintain the fields, build up our crop reserves, and prepare to add at least 1 more farmer to our group. Now it's time to start work on the farmhouse itself. As with most builds, we're kicking off with a cobblestone foundation supported by oak logs in the corners. I'm envisaging kind of an open work area downstairs for the job blocks, crop storage, and then upstairs will be the living area, which can always be added to if we need more than 2 farmers. Now, originally I planned to use oak fences to create this kind of lattice work effect, but it ended up kind of looking like a prison. And while they are indeed trapped here with no immediate plans for release to the rest of the village, I didn't want them knowing that. Time to tear it down and start fresh. This is all just one of many reminders, once again, I'm no builder. Yeah, wooden walls look much better. So there was space for some tools, both job blocks fitted nicely, and I had room for a staircase up to the next floor as well. Starting off with cobblestone slabs up here to extend the frame and just add a little more space inside. I wanted the materials to be kind of a reverse of what we've done before, with wood making up the lower floor, and stone being the main material on the upper one. Time to step back and admire our handiwork, and that's bad. I kind of hate it. Time to remodel. Much better. I ended up going with a layer of steps supporting stone walls as opposed to blocks. Just gives that all-important sense of depth, so that it's less of just a flat box while maintaining the space inside. Now here for the roof, we're going back to wood, and much as with the workshop, I wanted a flatter roof, so we're looking at mostly slabs. From the inside, it's going to need a lot of work, because it looks kind of scuffed at the moment. From the outside, however, it's not looking too bad at all. We can definitely work with this. The oak supports and curved roof do give it that sort of barnyard effect, as you can see there, while still maintaining the stone upper level. Manually harvesting fields is incredibly satisfying. Probably one of the most satisfying things to do in the game. Manually replanting fields, however, is tedious. It can be automated, but frankly I have neither the time nor inclination to learn how. I do have both of those to reorganise my storage basement, make it look a bit more respectable, with some nice shelving, additional chests. And then it's back to the farmhouse to decorate. I went with a couple of beds, flanked by bookshelves, a chest, crafting table, and I thought paintings would be a nice way to brighten the place up. That one's a bit ominous, let's try again. And nope, that's terrifying. It's ominous again, terrifying again, they have to look at that while they sleep. And yes, Donkey Kong. Perfect. And here's the finished build. I added a full wall window overlooking the farmland, gave it a nice smooth stone windowsill so the farmers wouldn't throw themselves out, which I guarantee they would do if given the chance, because they're a liability. Keep bouncing while you can, small child, for soon you too shall be put to work in the fields. I borrowed a bed from the Fletcher, who also seems to have disappeared. That is an epidemic right now. And morning came with many, many mobs, which I need to work on the lighting situation. But the child was finally an adult. I needed to get him to the farm, and that could only mean one thing. Land boat. Because this is absolutely how boats work. Time to get him out of his current location, across to the farm, nice and safely. Park up the boat in the farm, as you do. Make sure to shut the gate so he can't get out, and oh so very carefully free him from the boat. Have to use an axe here. Don't want to get the wrong hitbox. And he's free! He's out! Free to pursue his life of farming. I'd say he was joining our one remaining farmer, but predictably, our one remaining farmer had also vanished. Thankfully, we got another one. I don't know how they keep going, but that's how it is. And with farming finalised, I decided to finally get something set up in my own house. Now, we're a little ways off being able to enchant anything yet, but I wanted to get the table and bookshelves positioned, at least for now. I may move them when we fully decorate the place, but for now, the groundwork has been laid. And that'll do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. Next time, with the main infrastructure in place, we'll be focusing on some of our other villager-based requirements, namely a cleric, a librarian, and a new Fletcher, since our one ran off. Remember, if you want to catch these live and unedited, you can pop along to my Twitch channel, link in the description, so you can see the oh-so-painful processes involved with building a village in real time. Hopefully, you can join me for it. But for now, I'm going to get out of here, so my final thank you to you all for watching, and I guess with that, I will see you next time. Laters!